wonder what these were. You know, on the real ship. Maybe we'll have to look them up after. Whoops. And the other side goes the same way. Now let's see if we can get rid of some of that bright shiny photo etch here. Without touching the light gray, that is. Doesn't matter if I touch the horn. You know, it's dark gray anyway. Now, I've got a plan for this top here. I was thinking if I take, you know, a few drops of the dark gray that I'm using right now, and then same amount in the thinner. Why can't I seem to get that? Well, maybe I did get it. Anyway, yeah, I think I'll try that, and then I'll maybe use a larger brush, and it'll be extremely thinned out, and maybe I can just very lightly go across the top there without filling in those little holes. So I'm going to give it a try anyway. In the meantime, I'm going to twist this thing around so I can see it and see if I can get some more of this bare photo etch that's showing up here. Now I don't need very much here. This is extremely thin. It might have a tendency to wick its way where it's not wanted. Okay. Now, oh, I got 2 cups here. My goodness. Well, then I could do it twice as fast. That might work. Okay. Just let me zoom in a little bit so that you can see what I'm doing. Very gently here. Okay, let's see what we can do here now. Very, very lightly. I've got hardly anything in the brush. Maybe I need a little more. Well, you know what? This might work if I was to do several coats. Maybe I thinned it out too much. See, if I put it on thick enough so that it's so that you can see it, then it plugs the holes. Now the camera had a much better view than I did. I was looking more or less straight down on it, and I guess the light was, in such a way that I didn't realize I was putting it on. I should have, just, put it on there and then left it, and like I said, do several coats. As it was, it turned out okay. At least I'm getting rid of the shininess. There's probably a system to this. I don't know what it is. Okay, why don't I just let that dry and then put on another coat there. Well, I'm kind of pleased with that, actually. I think that turned out pretty good. Not as good as the airbrush would have done, but a lot better than nothing. Now let's see if I can keep from breaking that stuff. Now I'm going to run this scene through in kind of slow motion here, this one brush stroke anyway. And if you notice that it is going on, it is covering evenly. But from my angle, I thought what was happening was, yes, it was going on, but then somehow it was like sort of beading up like on water on a waxed car, and then it wasn't really completely covering evenly, when in fact it was. I should have just, put the brush stroke on, left it, waited a few minutes, put another one on. Well, I wouldn't have even had to wait a few minutes. It dries extremely fast. In fact, you might have noticed when I was doing some of the other painting that, like I think it was on the horn, I painted it, and then about half a minute later, it had darkened because it had dried already. It looks like it's thick, but that's because it's enlarged so much. It's really actually going on quite thin. Now, before I was getting myself all in a flap about the fact that this railing seemed extra low, and I, was kind of wondering about it, I should have checked the book, and then my questions would have been answered. Okay, now here you can clearly see, the low railing right here, but then there was like a little fence all the way around the outside, another railing. Probably some sort of cable type thing. Now I found another picture. Notice here? And I found another one. Now here it looks like there was some sort of, like maybe a canvas covering, just like a windbreak. Now this picture here is the way it was almost a year earlier than the other pictures, so I don't know if they actually continued to use that, or what. Maybe it may have been an idea that didn't work out, I don't know. Now I've been doing a lot of referring to this book. It is a reference book. It's not what you would call, it's not going to give you the history of the battle between the Bismarck and the Hood or anything like that. Now it does at the beginning go a little bit into the history of it, like how they built it and stuff like that. But what it mostly is it is just loaded with technical data. Like here we are at page 202, and I'm just I'm not looking for any one particular thing. What I've been showing you is here 300. We're at page 322. Into the motor launches for the, and it's just I just can't emphasize enough how valuable this book is if you're building a model of the Bismarck, no matter what scale you're building it at. So, I think that one of the viewers indicated when he said I got the book, he meant this one. I highly recommend it. It is excellent. And I'm not a book person. People that know me, I don't like to read. Maybe that's why I like this book. It's so loaded with, pictures and, data. It just, like here, we're going to be actually getting into this section pretty soon here. I think that might be the next major section we build. Probably won't be for a week or two. But, it shows you exactly what it was. Okay, enough of that. One more thing about this book. I do believe it's available as an ebook. In other words, you can download it as like a PDF. Then you can do a word search. And then you can also zoom in on pictures. And I'm not sure, but I think the pictures might actually be a little sharper than when you view them in the book like this, because there is the grain of the printing, from the printing process. Just another thought there. Let me know on that if you're somebody who knows for sure. We're almost done with 31. Hey, I'm a poet and don't know it. Anyway, there's not a whole lot left here. This piece here, it's got to go up here. Then this piece here is going to go in here. This piece here, I don't know how I'm going to be able to pick it up without breaking parts off. Let's see what we can do here. I'm going to be using, I think I'm going to be using CA glue. I've been finding that larger pieces like this, if I use the extra thin, because the parts have been painted, the extra thin, it kind of holds. Small parts work good, big parts like this, it's very easy to accidentally break it off. That's my experience. Maybe I'm not using enough extra thin, but I'm going to use CA glue on these larger joints. Now I'm going to try it a little bit differently this time. Last time I did it like this, I dropped the glue down the hole, and it didn't really run where I needed it. So what I'm going to try and do here is that may or may not work. And this bottle is almost empty, so it's hard to apply just a small amount here. It just all of a sudden wants to run on me. Let's see if we can get it going here. Whoop, there it comes. I'm going to put a little drop right there. Turn it. Put a little drop in here. Maybe here. 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 Oh, I can smell it. It's starting to set up. Now, if I put it down on the deck, I hope it's not going to wick its way too much out into the onto the decking there. Let's see what happens here. Now that should be running down. It is. I think it's set. Okay. Now, for this piece here, it's supposed to go on somehow like so. No use using any more glue than necessary. Okay, I'm looking around the funnel now, all around on the deck, and I'm not seeing anywhere where it wicked its way out into the deck painting, the deck tan. So I'm thinking that the way to go is try that with this piece right here as well. And once again, it won't take very much. Okay, put some there. And put some there. Now hopefully I can get this on. before it sets up. Okay, now if that runs down, this will soon know. Just hold it a little, give it a little bit of pressure there for a minute. Well, about a minute has passed, and as you can see, it's still loose. So let's take it off and see what happened here. Okay, I'll hold this so you can see it. The glue didn't run down. I didn't put enough on, maybe. Okay, what I've done now is I've drawn that drop down, sort of smeared it around. It doesn't take very much with this stuff. It's incredibly strong. Quite an invention, actually. Okay, I believe it's in place. Okay, now these catwalks that we've painted, I believe are supposed to sit on the top of this housing that we put on it. I think that might be the captain's bridge, but I'm not sure. Very gently now. I'm thinking now that because I've painted this, I've changed the dimensions. Oh my. Doesn't seem to want to fit here. Oh, there it goes. Seems to be going. No. Is it going underneath? Oh, I broke this off. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this back on after. And in the meantime, I've got to try and get this shoved back. And those bridges have to, see if I can find something to point with here. The bridges have to clear the top of this piece that we glued on last. And I think they are. I said bridges, but I meant catwalks. Now this is, for some reason, this is an unusually tight fit. When I had slipped this thing on before I painted it, it did seem to go on a lot easier. See, you notice I caught my finger on this piece right here? That's how stuff easily gets broken off. You just sort of maybe work it back little by little. And try and keep it in focus. You know, videoing stuff like this is half the fun for me. You know, if they were just take away my camera and stick me in the old folks' home, as long as they gave me a model, I'd probably still be happy. But I'd probably be twice as happy if they gave me my camera too. I'm going to reposition this so that I can get a better grip on it, and then we'll look at it after I'm done. Now, I was putting a lot of force to get this in. I was sort of squeezing on this and pushing and working it back and forth, and I've got it back about as far as I can get it without actually breaking something. And it does give you the illusion that these catwalks are sitting on top of what I believe is the captain's bridge, or the wheelhouse, or something. Let's look it up after and see what is that part. Now I'm really going to have to start being more mindful of what I'm doing. While I was trying to reposition this thing here, I accidentally broke this piece off now, and if you remember, I did CA glue this on, so much for CA glue being so super strong. Either that or maybe I gave it a bit of an extra hard knock. Anyway, gotta glue this back on now. Okay, now Ron, be more mindful. And that means every time you go to pick this thing up, watch where you're going to put your fingers. Okay. Now, the next step, which I believe is 32. Now, before we flip the page on the manual, let's see what we can figure out here. Number 6, at the Admiral's Bridge level. Okay, that's right here. So this is this piece right here. That's what we just glued on a few minutes ago. So this must be the Admiral's Bridge. So where's the Captain's Bridge? Or were they the same place? Where's the wheelhouse? Would it be in the front here somewhere? But I don't think so. You would think that would have to be... This is the most logical place for the captain and everybody to be. But what do I know? Anyway, yeah, I guess it's time to turn the page here now. Okay, here we go. Step 32 for me and you. Hey, I'm getting better at this. Alright, yeah, it looks like we got a few more pieces to put on that piece that we had trouble shoving in. Got another light to put on. I guess there's going to have to be some more painting done because we don't have these pieces pulled, or this piece. Okay, well, I guess we may as well get at it. But you know what? And you know what's coming, right? That's going to have to be tomorrow. So, thanks for watching, and all being well, we'll see you tomorrow with Step 32.